All right. So, big news right here, right? Let me read the question. Would you consider releasing some model weights and publishing some research? Sam Altman responded, yes, we are discussing. I personally think we've been on the wrong side of history here and need to figure out a different open source strategy. Not everyone at OpenAI shares this view, and it's not our current highest priority. Now, this is obviously a strange response, or I guess maybe an unexpected response from Sam, given that when they announced O3, they announced it this way, which obviously, this is a dig at a certain other company. Now, I'm sure you guys wouldn't have to seek too deeply to figure out exactly who they are referring to, but it's pretty obvious what's going on around here. Now, what do I think about? I mean, I guess really not even doesn't matter what I think about this. I think what matters is there any danger to OpenAI open sourcing some or all of their models? Is there any danger to it? Well, I think the general argument goes something like this, and this is probably their internal battle happening, which is it's very expensive to do what they're doing. It's probably one of the most expensive things ever to be endeavored on Earth. We can kind of all agree to that. It's extremely expensive. And so for them to just give away everything for free, there's some amount of competitors that are going to use all of this and then to be able to offer the same power as ChatGPT in some other application in which they're able to make money. And so this would kind of theoretically close the door on ChatGPT being able to make enough money to keep the lights on, et cetera, et cetera. You get the idea. And ChatGPT is burning an enormous amount of money and not making nearly as much money as they are hoping to make given the burn rate. So completely, I get that type of argument. But I'd like to make kind of a counter argument. There's a couple counter arguments. First, the big thing that was kind of revealed with DeepSeek is that there's lots of optimizations that were just left on the table. There's ways to make things significantly more performant. I can even run DeepSeek R1, the full model at quantization 1.5, and I can get about 10-ish tokens per second on 6 4090s. By the way, thank you, George Hotz. He literally let me jump on and use a bunch of these. We are running them. It was a lot of fun. I may have did a few things wrong, but nonetheless, it was a lot of learning for me. A lot of fun to be able to do all this. But the thing is the big thing about open source is that it allows people with a lot of talent who wouldn't be really likely to join the conversation to be able to say something and to be able to show what they can do. And I think this is a huge opportunity for that to happen. And not only that, but it makes it look like OpenAI has a lot of goodwill, right? They're wanting to give away their stuff. They're actually living up to their own name. And they're not living in this current closed AI system. Now, obviously, the big problem right now is that R1 did do that. They did go off and release this thing publicly. Now, barring all the conspiracy theories, the tinfoil hat theories of it being ran by a hedge fund and likely buying a whole bunch of puts against NVIDIA and then open sourcing this and saying it only cost $5.5 million and watching the entire market crash, probably made a pretty penny on doing all that. Nonetheless, not considering that, what it has shown is that if OpenAI would have done that, think about how much better their public image would be. Right now, it's not that I distrust them. It's just I think they're like every other company. They just want to take every last bit of data they can possibly scrape from the internet with or without your consent and to be able to make money off of it. And now that R1 has dropped this, now Sam wants to change his opinion. It just doesn't feel the same. But nonetheless, this is a net win for OpenAI. And here's the thing is I actually don't think open sourcing would hurt OpenAI at all. And here's the reason why. One, you don't have to update. You don't have to open your latest model, right? If you want the latest and greatest, you go to OpenAI. The end. But the big win comes with the fact that you get all these people piling into the ecosystem, using it, being able to hopefully show you a lot of wins that you can make as a company. And then on top of that, the reality is that not a lot of people are going to run their own LLMs. It's expensive. It's difficult. Uptime's not going to be easy. It's practically impossible to find GPUs, right? Like, it's actually not easy. It's very, very heavy cost-wise for you to be able to get a hold of them. It's just not a risk. Like, me setting up a bunch of GPUs is just not going to be the same experience as my mom who just wants to have something that helps write her emails, right? Those are very different use cases. And so I just don't think there's actually any real impact to their bottom line by opening these things up, because I just think that the average person that's going to run it is such a tech head that they're probably already running Llama anyways, and they're going to be all off in whatever available ecosystem that's open source as it is. So you have nothing but wins you can make in that ecosystem, and you're not going to lose any customers. The obvious only danger would be that some company takes your model and tries to create something better. Again, don't release your latest if you want the latest and greatest. Bada bing, bada boom. It just feels so simple to me. Again, things that feel simple to you often aren't actually simple in reality, and you're missing a bunch of stuff. But I just tend to think that there's just so much opportunity for them to be able to win goodwill and even more eyes on the project. Just do it, Sam. Stop being on the wrong side of history. Be on the right side of history. By the way, I'm going to make a small little prediction. O1 Mini, I think it's going open source. 30 days. Write it down on my calendar. March 3rd. Oh, actually, well, it's only 28 days. So March 5th, O1 Mini. Let's go. The name is, by the way, the name's the Prime. Like, sub, do all those things. Fun update, huh?